Hey friends, happy Wellness Wednesday. I know it's technically Monday when I'm recording this. Actually, it's almost Tuesday. It's almost midnight. But seeing as it's going to be March 1st already, and March 2nd is Ash Wednesday, we're starting a whole new season and a whole new place. And I realized February flew by and I never really finished on February. So I started at the beginning of February talking about the wonderful First Corinthians, love is patient and love is kind, and about being loving and kind to ourselves. And I kind of got stuck on from a song that I used to know a long time ago, where it talks that the next line was, "Love does not put on airs." And that one really stumped me for a while. I spent about a week thinking about it and I thought, oh, okay, I'll record next week. I'll do it every other week. And then that didn't happen either because I was still kind of stuck as to what that meant. And for me, I didn't get to research a whole lot, but for me, putting on airs means putting yourself like pretending to be something that you're not, putting yourself at a level that you're not. Kind of an old-fashioned kind of way of saying, bringing yourself up in a different level of society, or making it seem like I'm rich and fancy when I'm really not. That's what it brings to mind for me. And I wondered, what does that mean for me in terms of self-care and loving myself? How do I not do that to myself? And I think a big thing is not pretending to be what I'm not, to myself even. I struggle with, like a lot of us do, especially if you're in a position of ministry or in your job where you're in charge of things, where you're kind of the head, and the buck stops here personnel, that we kind of struggle with perfectionism. If it's not going to get done well, then I don't want it to be done because it affects so many people. And delegating sometimes mean trusting that other people are going to get it done to the degree that it needs to be. And so I pile so many things on myself and I realized that I've got this face on me that says, yes, everything's great, everything's fine, I can handle this. And deep inside, I'm thinking, yeah, I can't handle this. And to myself, I'm pretending like got it all together and I'm ready. And you know what? Who of us really has it all together? I mean, for a long time, I thought that's what I want to be, that grown-up lady, that grown-up woman that looks professional and like she has it all figured out and that she's not rushing in the morning because she forgot or staying up till midnight because she forgot to do something that she wanted to do. And I realized after talking to a lot of people that it's really not anybody. And I'm really trying to make myself be something that I'm not, and something that may not even be possible at this point in my life just because of what's happening. So that's another part of being patient with myself is realizing that I am not perfect. I am not all that put together. I do my best and I'm really working hard at being organized and being on time and getting things done, but I can't be perfect and none of us can be perfect and we can't pretend to ourselves that we can. And that really lets off a lot of stress. It's not to say like, oh good, then I won't try, but it's more to say, you know what, I'm going to do the best that I can and not pretend that all is well. There's got to come a point where we say, you know what, things aren't all well, and I do need help, and I can't do this alone. So that's kind of where I ended up with that whole love is patient, love is kind, that whole reading. I'd love to go back and reread it again, and I think I invite you to do that as well. Reread that whole passage on love and what it says to you about loving yourself, about taking care of yourself. I know that in the past few months, January, February especially, I've just felt really scattered and lost. And it occurred to me one day that some of the things that I forgot to do, because I just didn't make time to do, well, there's three things that I realized, and I've done two of them so far, well, halfway through the third. One was making sure my hair was colored and my gray was not overpowering because I feel like when I have so much gray, kind of washes me out and it makes me look more tired and feel more tired when I look at myself. And it's not a vanity thing, it's more a me thing. Like when I see myself and I look, oh my gosh, I look so tired, I just don't like it. So I did color my hair finally and get the gray out. The second thing was that I had gotten really good over the last year about keeping my car clean, on the outside, especially because the dust and the wind here, especially in the fall and the winter get crazy. And I hadn't washed my car in weeks, and I'm actually in months. And I finally washed my car this Sunday, and it's amazing how different I feel just driving a clean car. And again, it's not for show; it's more for me. I feel like I can see through my windshield, and it just makes me feel a lot better. So that was two things. The third thing is I haven't gotten my nails done professionally in a while, but I actually did paint them at least now. I trimmed them and filed them and gave myself a little manicure and painted them. I do want to go back and get them done professionally again because I just like Again, for me, I like that feeling of having my nails look nice and not chipped nail polish and not broken nails. And these are things that sometimes we might think are excessive and that might we might think are not really necessary. But you know what? Whatever it is that makes us feel better about ourselves and make us feel like we're taking care of ourselves is what we need to do. So take that time to read that book that you've been wanting to read, or take that long bath, or take a drive to the coast. That's another thing I've been wanting to do for me. Take a drive to the coast and just be for a little while, or walk around a shopping center if that's what you need to do to be outside and get some vitamin D. But whatever we need to do to take care of ourselves, it's really what that, to me, that whole Corinthians reading is for me about loving myself, is making sure that I'm taking care of me and that I know what are the things that I need to feel loved by myself and for me and not for anybody else. So I invite you to do that. I know that February's over, but there's never, it's never too late to start. Hopefully by Wednesday, if Wash Wednesday doesn't get too crazy, you'll get another episode out so that that will be our starting Lent episode. And that's going to be something a little bit different in terms of wellness and more pointed at prayer. And because I think for me, for Lent, that's the thing I need to, there's two things I need to do. And that's one, take care of my body. So I'm really going on um, a revision of my eating habits and making sure that, Girl Scout cookie season always kills me. And so reviving myself after Girl Scout cookies and moving away from the sugar and kind of doing that healthy eating thing for myself to get myself better, but also to really focus on my prayer life, especially now as the world, there's so many things in the world that are in need of prayer and so many people that are in need of prayer. And so doing a little bit more towards that for the Lenten weeks for my wellness. So that's where I'm at tonight. I know this is kind of more of an informal session and I apologize. It's just, it's just when I kind of felt like saying a little bit and getting a little bit out there. So hopefully I'll be a little bit more organized next month, and get you something good for the Lenten days. But in the meantime, take good care of yourself.